This is Thursday. Now, Thursday when I don't think Wednesday went too well. If it did, Thursday is not keeping it well. Because whatever transpires, we go later into the week, and now we have this full opposition between the moon and Mars. Now, just like the Uranus-Mars square in my chart, I also have a moon-Mars opposition. It's not fun. It creates a lot of, how can I put this? It's really frustrating, especially depending on how it plays out in your chart. If it deals with the mom, it could be like, issues with mom, maternal figures, feminine figures that just, it's almost like the way they nurture or the way they feel that they should nurture is to like make you lose all motivation to do things that are outside of them, which we could be seeing like, a thing of that where it seems like people are being oppressed because the moon is like the general public. There could be like this kind of like very showy way of like oppression in a way, but it's like, it's mean. It's not, because Mars is aggression. It can be fighting. When you're put in these kind of situations, it's almost like you're always fighting over what you're passionate about and what your heart tells you, or what people are telling you to do, what you're good at, and what you actually like connect with and what makes you feel safe, or like you're having to do the thing and doing the thing makes you feel very unsafe like every time you do the thing. So it's not like you're really getting that positive emotional response when you have to take risks and when you have to do things that require you to step out of your comfort zone. You're always getting this negative feedback that you feel unsafe. I don't like this. So there could be a lot of that really happening here. And since it's like moon and Leo, it could be making the emotions very big, which is making you distrust them more, because this Aquarius energy is like, I don't like big emotions. I'm objective. I'm not getting involved in them. So it could almost be this thing where it feels like what you're being told to do, what you're being pushed to do, everything that you feel you need to do is so opposite of what makes you feel safe that it's like, it can, like Leo is the child, it can make you like hit some very deep inner child wounds with that. And it's also squaring Uranus and Jupiter, which makes this feeling bigger and more unpredictable, which is why I was saying whatever transpired didn't go well. And it's all feeding into this emotion where it's meeting this like critical mass is what it's feeling like. And if people are not in a space, like I've been saying, if people aren't in a space where they can have healthy communication and where they can actually talk about these things, and they don't have any coping mechanisms for this heavy of emotions, then you're going to be seeing a lot of people, because this is like T-square, it hurts, you're going to be seeing a lot of people just fly off the handle and be unpredictable. And it's like, if you're seeing this in the general public, it's like, you don't want to be seeing people randomly like losing their temper and getting aggressive and hurting other people. But there are a lot of tensions that are happening right now. And I feel one of the things that are really being seen a lot, because one thing to remember with Aquarius energy, and Pluto is in Aquarius right now, is it rules the internet. And what is happening with the internet is a lot of people are talking about how certain governments do things with the internet, how what control, what freedoms we have, what information we're getting. Like, is it actually like factual information, or are we being filtered things? Like all these things. This is literally Pluto in Aquarius. It's literally like this like sussy, like Pluto trying to suss out like what the heck is happening with all this Aquarius energy. And it's going into like groups of people, organizations, and all these different things, which is Aquarius, that are like trying to have the reins on certain things and using like tactics that aren't very cool about it. And like a lot of people are like, the moon is general public is going to feel oppressed by certain situations because it's like, well, what freedom do we have? So it's going to feel almost like damaging to our motivation to like try to do things, because it's like, how can we do things if we don't like have the resources, I guess, is a way to put it. Because, you know, it's squaring our resources with Taurus, like that unpredictable factor with this Taurus energy, and with Jupiter, just like Jupiter and Saturn are trying so hard throughout all of this to give us the structure to create things that can help us. But the sextile is like the one opportunity that keeps staying there. It's trying to give us the opportunity that we need so bad to do something, to like make a structure that can support us with all this going on. And I'm honestly hoping that there is something like that that's happening, because it is there. But it seems like the thing that's at the forefront that everyone's actually viewing online and can actually see is just how everything's breaking down. And that can be honestly a tactic, because that would be like a very Pluto tactic, the fear mongering, where it's like the only thing you can see is the bad. You're not going to see any of the good. Wonder if something like that will come out as a conspiracy theory somewhere and get proof to it, because that's what Pluto does. Like, it'll, especially with Aquarius, is like, give me all of the conspiracy theories. I will find a way, get to the bottom of them, and prove them all. It's why I feel a lot of different sites that have like these people that deep dive into these details and have all these proofs on things, even though they're like niche hobbies or whatever they are, but they have like these like detailed, thought out thing. It is very Pluto. It's very like this obsessive overcorrection of everything. But yeah, this right here. But I feel like the one thing that is helping this moon is going to be the Aries energy we have, except for the sun. The sun's actually trining Pluto with Neptune. But with the moon, we do have all the other things, the North Node, Chiron, Mercury, trining the moon. So these things that have been making us feel very, very like alone and like no one understands me, like the me energy that we've been feeling, is finally feeling like it's getting this open flow to being able to be expressed. Now, for better or worse, it's getting an open flow. All these feelings are getting an open flow to be expressed with this moon. It could be good in a way that people are standing up for things that they believe in and actually like being loud, like that Leo getting on the stage and like putting their foot down about things that need to change and need to be done. Yeah, I mean, like that can be a good side of it. A not so good side of it is people having the stage to speak and speaking on a whole lot of things that just put a whole lot of fear in people and just scare people. And it's like, you know, it's corralling people, like that kind of thing. That's where that can really go bad. So just keep a lookout for that. Keep your eyes and ears open. Keep your mind open. Be objective when you're listening to things, and like be objective about where your sources are coming from and things like that as much as you can be, because things, Pluto in Aquarius is information war. And I said that since like the very, very beginning of Pluto moving into Aquarius, is that this is information war. And Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for about 15 years. This isn't going to be like an overnight thing. This is like the long, like, you know, the what's it called when the long game, where they're playing the long game. They're not waiting. They're waiting. They're trying to make it seem like not as much is happening at the beginning, so that way they just win at the end and no one suspects it. Like, that's the long game. Like the tortoise and the hare. That's how Pluto in Aquarius is acting. So all these like brash emotions we're feeling, they are important, because, you know, we need to start like getting our shit together. But at the same time, it's like the only way to fight this is to actually be more observant. This Aquarius energy, like be more sus, like try to like understand where things are coming from and realize that some things, just like a lot of places that deal with this are not going to be able to hear all the things they hope they can. So don't take everything at face value, I think, is like the best way to look at this energy.